Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flux, back after a little bit of an illness, but I've recouped and here I am, alive and mostly well, with 3 reviews for you. We're going to do rapid fire micro reviews, starting off with Hocus Pocus 2 on Disney+. This is yet another one of the Disney Plus films that went straight to Disney Plus that I think would have done exceptionally well in theaters. I think it has the nostalgia fix for hardcore fans. It is inarguably a better movie than the first one. If you remove your nostalgia goggles, it's better written, it has stronger theming, and likable characters. It lacks the charm of the original, and it's also very underlit, but by and large it's a very good movie. I give it a very firm 3 stars. I think it would have made bank at the box office. Disney, what are you doing? You keep releasing like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and Turning Red to Disney Plus. These are movies that would have done well financially in theaters, and your theatrical investments largely have been kind of meh. You had the incredibly underperforming Buzz Lightyear movie, as well as Thor: Love and Thunder, which may break even. Your only real success of the year so far is Doctor Strange. We'll see what happens with Black Panther, but this was yet another misstep. Hocus Pocus 2 gets a positive review from me, 3 stars. Moving on to Netflix's much talked about Blonde. This kind of does the Spencer thing with Marilyn Monroe, sort of hypothesizing an experiential film through her eyes, and it does so to a far less exceptional extent. I like what this movie is trying to do and say. It's a very ugly film. It's a hard film to sit through. It's a hard film to watch because you are constantly being thrust with her objectification and the belittling of who she was. This is a deconstruction of who Marilyn Monroe was, and really gets you to look at her as somebody that isn't this sex symbol, as a real person, that she didn't want this sex symbol, that this character that she kind of created. That said, the film does very little to get you to, like, as good as it is at getting you to understand her perspective, its failing is it doesn't really allow you to get to know her as a person, who she genuinely is, outside of she's a smart woman, even though she doesn't play one on TV, kind of thing. And I would have liked it to do more. Like with Spencer, I think that's a good example. Spencer is a hypothesization of, like, what if Princess Di thwarted royalty and declared her own agency. You get to spend only 90 minutes with her, but you fully understand and know who she is inside and out. And I don't know anything about Norma Jean in this film. That said, this movie doesn't necessarily get my recommendation. The only things that I really do say are positives. It is beautifully shot. I'm going to touch on that again in a second. But it is a profoundly strong performance from Ana de Armas as Norma Jean Marilyn Monroe. She is fan-freaking-tastic, and I hope she's not forgotten about at Oscar season, because she gives an award-worthy performance in a movie that otherwise doesn't deserve any. And the other one that deserves awards recognition is young Norma Jean. She's like a 6-7-year-old kid, and she is so stunningly fantastic. She's not in much of the movie, but when she's there, she just grips all of your attention. So they almost make the movie worth recommending, because their performances are so strong. But I can't recommend the ugliness of this film. I know that's the experience that you're trying to get, but it places no real commentary other than, didn't her life suck? But yeah, it's true, but if you're going to hypothesize all these situations that didn't necessarily in fact happen just so you can get, like, hit over the head with her experience, why not do something to make us humanize her beyond what it is to dehumanize her? to understand her as a person, her motivations, her wants and desires. So far, all you really know about her is daddy issues, and that's about it. But you can read into that by picking up any book on Marilyn Monroe. The director is also, like, this movie is just incredibly pretentious. Just watch 15-20 minutes of the film, and just the way it's shot, though beautiful, it's like the most pretentious thing in the world. This filmmaker really thinks a lot of himself and his technique, and it becomes a distraction instead of a conversation piece. Blonde does not get my recommendation. It's a 2-star film. Moving on to Disney Plus's Werewolf by Night, a special Marvel presentation, a short film, a one-shot, if you will. This is a movie, I'm not going to get into the spoilers of it, but it's beautifully shot in black and white, and harkens back to the iconography and the feel and tone of those classic Universal monster movies from the 30s and 40s. That's what's going for it. It has pretty strong performances here and there from your leads. I don't want to get into those spoilery details either, but they give strong performances. However, it's kind of a bland movie. It's 55 minutes, and the first half hour is fine. Like, you're just kind of strumming along, and you're like, yeah. Then, for 15 minutes, this movie gets incredible. Once the discussed werewolf comes out by night, that is when this movie picks up, and it is a great effing monster movie. Oh my god, wow, and I was geeking out. This is everything I wanted from films like The Wolfman from a few years back that I did not get. This is the perfect representation of that. And then there's like a 5-minute tag on sequence right at the very end that kind of sums it all up. If we're moving into more monster territory, which it sounds like we are with like Blade coming up and stuff like that, this has me somewhat excited, but I wanted to like it way more than I did. I'd give it a very, very soft 3 stars, but it's honestly probably more of a 2.5-star thing. I just really liked the werewolf bits, and the Bloodstone character is... There's a nugget of a character there that I think you could carry on into other works that could be somewhat interesting, but we will have to see. Yeah, so there you have it. Michael Giacchino directed this film. He is the person who scored many of the MCU films, including the first Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man movies. And he's a great composer in his own right. He did a great score for Rogue One, as well as the J.J. Abrams Star Trek trilogy. He's a great composer. He gets to show some chops as a visual filmmaker, and I'd like to see him really hone that skill. You can see the makings of a true visual artist in this film that has yet to really bud or spread out his wings and fly. I can't wait to see him do that. But anyway, those are my thoughts on these 3 rapid-fire films. I hope to have reviews for you within the next couple of days here for Godzilla vs. Biollante, for The Worst Person in the World. I have a backlog of films that I've watched. These are just 3 quick thoughts on movies that I saw and predominantly liked. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of each of these films in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace.